Hey, this is Lance Wallnau. Welcome to the 7M Underground. Those of you that haven't heard, we've launched literally an underground network to communicate some of the more incendiary insights about what's happening. I mean, there is news that you hear, and then there is the story behind the news. So many of you don't know we just launched this last week. I don't want you to miss any of the broadcasts, but let me just start by saying this. Like Jesus said, take heed how you hear. Take heed what you hear. Matthew, I believe, says how you hear. Mark says what you hear. In other words, most people are listening to the media like they're getting information. Don't you realize the media was completely caught off guard, with the exception of the Financial Times and the LA Times? Every major media outlet was completely bamboozled by the recent election results. And what that ought to tell you is that they're deceived, that they're drinking their own Kool-Aid, that they're inhaling their own oxygen, and they're, like I've said, these are a remnant of gatekeepers at the top of the seven mountains. They only drink from the same water cooler that each other's drinking at, and they're under a spiritual influence. And you see why I got to do this in the underground? Because I can't put this stuff out there. My video views are going like to 100,000 people, up to 1 million at a time. I don't want to go, Alex Jones on this subject, but I'm telling you, there's a spiritual dimension to what's happening. And let me just give you this free bit here, and then we'll take the rest of this underground. But like, people are calling me up and they're going, Lance, there's terrible division in the country. There's terrible protests. What do we do? I say, who do you think the protests are coming from? The left is organizing this. Don't you guys get it? Don't you get the fact that 5 of the major media outlets are working for the progressive liberal ideology? They're working for the Democratic Party. They're not telling the truth. They're diverting the subject matter now to the narrative, and they're an echo chamber. What one says, they all say it. You can hear it. The problem is Christians suddenly get under the influence of the media hypnosis of this repeated theme. So I'm going to give you what it is. I'm going to give it to you from them. So people are going, well, Lance, how can you say that the left is organizing these protests? Because I went to their website and found out how to go get involved with it. MoveOn.org. Wednesday. Releasing the following press Wednesday afternoon. Gatherings organized by MoveOn.org and allies will affirm a continued rejection of Donald Trump's, here's the lines, man, bigotry, xenophobia, Islamophobia, and misogyny, and demonstrate our resolve to fight together for the America we still believe is possible. Within 2 hours to the call to action, MoveOn members had created more than 200 gatherings nationwide, with the number continuing to grow on Wednesday afternoon. Catch this? MoveOn.org, funded by the crazy left, names who we always talk about in our underground program, have organized the Kabuki Street Theater. Now, of course, they're going to drop the bus off and load it up with all the college kids who are all mixed up and confused and have been sold on the fact that somehow the world's changing and climate control is going, the world's going to melt down with no environmental controls, or Donald Trump's going to nuclearize the West, or something. So, but get it, this is organized Kabuki theater. And what's bad about it is, there's people getting shot. You know why? Because people get sucked into the narrative, this false theater, this HBO drama. And then it's like they think it's true because it's propaganda. That's how the devil works, propaganda. Take heed what you hear. Take heed how you hear. And I'll just give you one more quote from the MoveOn.org site, which is behind this stuff, people. How to pray? Well, pray that we expose this truth. Listen, if it's going to be spiritual warfare, then we have to pray that God raises up vehicles of truth that can expose a lie. Because if it's the truth that sets you free, trust me, it's a lie that holds a nation captive. We have to expose the lie, and that's what we'll do in the 7M Underground. I'm not going to read anymore. I'm going to save this for the underground. Have I got some stuff to talk about? I'll catch you guys there.